Hey, I'm Tim Lerch, and that was an arrangement of the old standard Moonglow. The arrangement was written by Ted Greene in 1985, and today during this lesson that is sponsored by tedgreene.com, I would like to go through the lesson pretty much frame by frame. As you know, Ted writes his arrangements out on these window box chord grids, and you can download the page. There's a link in the description of this video. So download the page and then come back and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so the song is in the key of D and it starts on the 4 chord. Basically the song goes something like this. It must have been Moonglow. Ba 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 da dee, ba da ba da dee da, da da dee do dee dee do. And I would highly recommend that you learn the melody to the song. Get a lead sheet, get some recordings. There's lots of famous recordings, including one by Doris Day, and Bing Crosby did one, and my favorite is by Art Tatum, but that's more of a showpiece. But listen to it, and even before you try and work on this arrangement, watch the video and then go and listen to some versions of it. And sometimes the square versions are better to listen to because they aren't as fancy and you hear the true melody. Okay, let's try this. I did the ending as an intro, so we won't look at that. We'll just look at it from the very top of the page. We have a G, try and hold my guitar so you can see it, a G add 9. Ted writes this G/9, just basically as a G triad with an A in it. And I use this fingering because it just allows me to get everything done. So the first bar goes like this. And you can phrase it various ways. I like to do it about like this. Okay, the next chord, next bar is a G minor major 7, which causes you to split your right hand to thumb in 1 and then 2 and 3. So you skip over the G string, and so it goes. Okay, so that's bar 2 goes like this. Sorry. Okay, bar 3 goes to a first inversion D6 chord, or it adds up to D6. It's basically a D triad until you play the X's in the boxes. Now that F13 is an approach by a half step from above to the E, then the B flat, or that's
flat 13 is a flat 5 sub for the 2 dominant chord. Then it goes to 2 minor, and this is a beautiful move. And that's, you just have to work on it. It's quite difficult to get. It's a little contrary motion thing on approaching E minor by F minor, or mixing it in a little half step, sidestepping kind of thing. And then A9, and then an anticipated 1 chord, and then this little tag, which happens in one way or another at the end of every phrase. And I play a little filler there. Now, one of the things you're going to notice is all of the chords in this passage and some of the chords in the other passages, many of them, utilize 5 notes seemingly played simultaneously. So you really got to get all your fingers in the game. So I play with my little finger. See if you can see. I'll try and play that passage so you can see my right hand. Actually, on that one, you don't need 5. Then okay, so be aware that the little finger is going to be used on this page. You can fake it a little bit, but you'll lose one of the notes in the chords, and then as a result, you'll thin the thing out and it won't be as lush. Okay, so now we're at the beginning of the second 8, which is line 3 on this page. Ted has a chord which is very difficult to play, and in order to avoid that chord, because I don't like playing it either, I realized that you can get the exact same voicing that way. So G, D, A, and B. Of course, in the open strings, you can get it. If we were in the key of A flat, we'd be out of luck. So, well, not exactly out of luck. You could play it like that. But anyway, so this chord, don't be too scared by any of these things. If you see a chord that's difficult to play, see if you can come up with an alternative to it. So from that beginning of that phrase, this is line 3, the second 8. A11, G sharp minor 7 flat 5. Sorry, I'll try that again. Now I'm doing, on these last 2 chords, I'm doing a double stop on the D and G string for the G sharp minor 7 flat 5, and then a double stop with the tip of my finger. This is that sort of Ted Greene tip stop. It just makes it a lot easier for me to get my big hands into the frets, and it might be helpful for you to look at it that way as well. Then continuing on to F minor 11, and then E13, and then he has a roll. Now this E minor 7 is awfully difficult to grab. I think I left it out. It's just a passing little moment. Then we're on to line 4. And that's an E minor 7, which looks like G6, because that's what E minor 7 in first inversion looks like. And then a B flat 7 with the 7th in the bass, then A13, or A7/6 as he calls it, because there's no 9 in it. And then I like to go, just put a C sharp in the where it says right hand fill, and then we have this beautiful, my favorite part of the whole piece. Now that's a bit of a grab, so let me walk through it real slowly. So we have D6, and then E minor 7 or G6, B flat 7. Everybody moves up except the 2 on the third, the first finger on the 3rd fret. And then we get to a first inversion D triad. And then the fingering here is important. I'm using 1 and 3 because what happens next is you play then that note again and then grab that D9 chord. So let me play that all in one flow. Sorry. Oh, it really is a grab to get this flat 7 here. Try it one more time. Let's see if I can play this all the way through. There we go. And then 8, 7 sharp 5, D9, and then on the page this chord is written, right? It's C sharp 9 with F in the bass. It probably should be called E sharp in the bass. If you don't like that grab, which I don't either, so it's a that's the line 5, the first half of it. You could also alternatively go or any variety of or those kinds of things. The bass note on those, of course, Ted's trying for this, which is wonderful, but it's awfully difficult to get your fingers on this chord. Okay, let me see if I can play that passage. And then he plays his little roll. Then a whole bar of fill. Then now that part right there, that's the first bar of line 6. He recommends something like this, and then a fingering that would go like that. I find that difficult to do, so I played the same thing with a slightly different fingering. I grabbed the C sharp or D flat note there under my little finger, and then the rest is the same. Now here's a difficult part, because you've got to really get this open. There's a melody here that he wants. Okay, so that's, let's just look at this. This is the A7 to the A flat 13. And then this bar here with the G, add 9 again. I think there's an extra chord here, or I don't understand how he intended it, but I'm just skipping that last G chord because the melody note would be duplicated. So I'm just going like this. Now my right hand fill is to play G minor major 7, and that as a sub for C7 or C9 sharp 11. So that sounds like this. Then this part's probably the hardest thing in the song. I'm going to do it. This is line 7 from B minor 9. It's a lot of moving lines in here. I think he was getting maybe a little bored with all this stuff, and so he decided to throw in a big challenge. But it's 7th fret. And of course there's an open string in there just for complication's sake. So we say 1, 2, 3, 4. Little fill, then this guy. It's a long line that starts on the middle of the bar. So we say we have the E13 here. And then the ending. And that ending goes like this, the D7 chord. And then a little ending. And you can make fancy or something, put a D there. Okay, that's a lot, isn't it? This is probably the most difficult Ted Greene arrangement that I've done yet for made a video of. And it's a handful, so don't be discouraged if you find it difficult. Keep working on it if you find it difficult, and do a little bit every day, and try and memorize it so that you don't have to keep going back and looking back and forth from the page. Okay, so that's Moonglow. It says on the top of the page that you can play it rubato or in tempo. Of course, it's much more difficult to play some of these passages in tempo than it would be perhaps in rubato. I feel this song more in tempo, and so that's how I'm playing it. But feel free to take the tempo way down or play it very free time. Okay, so go visit tedgreene.com, make a donation if you get something out of this video, or you can make a donation to tedgreene.com, or you can also make a donation if you care to at my website. That would go to me. We really appreciate all of your interest, and it's great to have a community of people who enjoy Ted's work and want to keep it going. So thank you very much for your time, and thanks for listening. I hope you get a lot out of this lesson. Here we go.